Now, I know y'all used to me coming to y'all, and I've always got some businesswoman I want to introduce to you all. I've always talked about something somebody's got going on in business, but this time I got something a little bit different for you all. I do. This moment, we're actually going to take a spotlight to focus on creative Black women. This is where we're going to be celebrating talented Black women shaping the arts and culture. Today, we are honored to actually feature Anastassia Saywordstaz Whitty, a visionary music producer and photojournalist merging boom bap jazz with cinematic storytelling. Mentored by the legendary Sky Beatz, she crafts experiences that resonate deeply while her photography captures raw, authentic narratives. Join us as we explore her creative journey, inspirations, and what's next for this multifaceted artist. Hello, Anastassia.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
I want
Really.
to say thank you. Thank you for popping my creative cherry today.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yes, you are my first creative that we are featuring, and I am so excited about this.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, my first question to you is music and photography are two powerful forms of storytelling. How do you balance both? And do they ever intersect in your creative process?
I would say, yeah. With music, it's all about storytelling musically. And when I use my photography, like I incorporate my photography with my music by doing what's called the vibe out. So I
Okay.
have it like where I'm sitting at in my living room, and I would set up my camera and my lighting equipment here. After I'm done producing, making my music and stuff, I'll put it on my SP404 machine, and I'll play it out. And it's like about 30 minute segment, and then after that I upload it onto YouTube. So it I would say in that case of photography, it comes hand in hand with my music. So being able to visually have people look at me instead of hearing just what I make, and then at the same time, my music, it's like finishing a sentence. It's like completing a sentence from beginning to end, just like storytelling from the beginning to the very end, closing out. That's how I see it go hand in hand.
Okay. Now, what first sparked your passion for music and photography?
Well, photography started first back when I was about 25 years old. I'm 37 now.
Girl,
Believe it or not.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought you.
old.
I thought, nah, boo. I thought you would listen. You are. We are all a testament to Black Don't Crack. Okay, you are not
Yes.
old. I am about
No.
10 years older than you. I'll be 45 this year. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, black doesn't crack because
Nah,
they
boo.
say it all the time, and
Yeah.
it depends. It depends on it depends
It depends
because
on how you treat it. That's what I've
how
learned.
you treat
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because I don't drink alcohol, so that's one of
You.
the ways of making you look older. And I always smile. That's just a natural habit.
Yeah. Sis, you look. I swear to God, you look like you in your early 20s. I swear.
I know.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that all the time.
Like
But yeah,
for
I'm
you to sit up here and say, I was like, what? Wait a minute.
yeah, man. I have a young spirit and an
Well,
old
keep
soul.
it. That's what keeps us young, okay?
Word, thank you. And I will remember that for sure. But yeah, when I was like 25 years old, I was learning photography through a person that I considered my mentor. He would show me like the work that he's done because he was a professional photographer himself, and he would make me critique rather, sorry, what I thought his work was, like what I thought of his work. So that helped me to get a better eye. And then I started going on the streets and hanging out with friends and just carrying my camera with me everywhere I went. I had a little point and shoot. And then eventually I decided to get into music. Um, that was way down the line. So, like, during COVID, I would say 2021 was where I had I already had a friend, a mentor. His name is Ski Beatz,
Mm-hmm.
and he's legendary in the game. Some people, a lot of people know who he is because he's created a lot of projects like for Jay-Z, Lil Kim, Camp Lo, things like that. But I had met him at a concert 3 years prior from COVID, and we we just hit it off, and I kept in touch with him and bugging his ear about music because I love everybody loves music, I hope. And I really take music seriously since growing up as a kid. My dad's been surrounding us with jazz and all that funk and disco. So I would always ask Ski about questions in regards to sampling and like stuff I've heard that I wanted him to check out and sample
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know what I was doing. And come to find out, what I was trying to do was actually chop up samples for him to listen to. So then, like I would say, like the winter of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
I went through a deep depression because I couldn't find anything with photography as far as work. I was a freelancer photojournalist, still am, but there was no work around that time. So I was like, okay, well, I hate being stagnant. So what can I do in this meantime? And I just thought about music, like, let me give this a shot. So I hit him up and I asked him if he would like to help me out on this journey, and I'm really serious about it. I want to take it on. And he was like, yeah. So he mentored me since 2021 of February. Next week would make it a whole 3 years. So I've
Okay.
been doing this for the 3 years.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's been
Okay.
amazing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, how would you describe your creative style in both music and photography?
My style is like, makes sense. It's to the point. Like, it's with music, it's a vibe. It's a Staz type of vibe. It's a good feeling. When you listen to my music, it's like high positive feelings and just like you want to dance. Like, it's it's definitely upbeat, and it's boom bap. It's mixed with like boom bap jazz. So
Okay.
it was called jazz hop. So yeah, so definitely that's when it comes to my music. And photography just like is more of a cinematic feel. Like, I want people to get the point of what this photo is trying to explain. I want
Okay.
to get the mood, the feeling of what it comes out with it, which is why I always do my work normally in black and white, like real dark black and
Oh,
whites.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, and I like to capture the moment, like the expressions, very candid with my stuff. So yeah, I like that with photography.
Okay. Well, can you walk us through your music production process from inspiration to maybe final track?
Sure. Actually was just making the beat before I got on here. So I could tell you what I did with that.
Okay.
Um, so when I first start normally with music, I have to think about like where do I want to go with it. So I clear my mind completely because I can't come in with it with a cluttered mind. So I go, I make some tea. That helps whatever mood I could set myself in that's calming. That
Okay.
helps. And then I start off with my MPC. I grab my MPC one and I start with the kicks. So, like the kick, snare, hi hat, the basic main instruments. And I would I would do different things. Every now and then it changes, but usually I would use like little techniques to help me out with the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I would start with that. And then once I have something going, then I would go into the sampling. So I would find my song or whatever I pick. Sometimes I don't even care what it is. I just like close my eyes and I pick it. I'm like, okay, we're doing this right now. And but there are times where I really want to study something, then like a certain tempo of a song, then I would, do that as well. And then I would import that in, and I'll start chopping the sample, and I do micro chops. So I like to fine chop everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So the more you chop, the more sounds you get. So
Yep.
that's why I like doing that. I hate looping, so that's the other reason. But then I'll do that, and then from there, I already have my drums set up, and I'll just mix them together, whatever the drums sound like, and then I'll just plug it in with the sample, whatever fits, and I just create. Like I get really creative with it because it's all about your ear.
I
It,
love that.
it that's something you can't really teach anyone.
Mm-mm.
So you gotta find your sound. You gotta find what you like. And for me, like I said, it's like completing a sentence. I like to complete from beginning to end. And if it sounds good, it sounds good. There's sometimes times where I don't like it. I won't throw it away. I'll just start over.
Okay. Now, who are some of your biggest creative influences in music and photography?
Um, in photography, there were a couple of people. Um, when I was doing portrait work, I would say Greg Knorr was one. Parsons was another one. I don't know if he still is Kendrick Lamar's photographer, but he really inspired me when it came to like fashion portraits and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, Street work, that was really me. I didn't really like. I just was taking pictures everywhere.
Okay.
But the black and whites, I would definitely say was like Greg Knorr. Like he
Okay.
inspired me with the black and whites, and yeah, it's just over time, and even like the person that I was looking up to when I first started, like he helped me with the cinematic feel
Okay.
back
Now,
then.
have you ever collaborated with other artists? And if so, how has that shaped your work?
With music, yes, I haven't done so as much. Ski Beatz is also my mentor, so I'm very much so inspired by him.
Okay.
Um, the collaborations, I collaborated with him on one of my projects, my first and second project of Sonic Odyssey. It's a trilogy.
Hmm.
So one and two was with him. And then I had another friend who did a rap on my beat. His name was Czars the Origin. He's really dope. So I've done a little bit of collaborations, not as much. I actually do have one more collaboration in the spring with a poet. She is super dope. Her name is Maddie Dangerously, and she's the one who recommended me to you. So I can't wait for that one to come out. For
You got to
sure.
make sure you send it to me so that I can bring
Yes,
y'all both back on and we can talk about it
yes.
together.
She's a blessing. I'm not gonna lie. Like she's really helped me through some things. So shout out to Maddie.
Awesome. Now, how do you push yourself through your creative block?
Well, this is actually a popular question because was asked that not too long ago by a friend. When it comes to creative blocks, it's good to have another passion.
Hmm.
Not a lot of people can say they have other things they like to do, but if even if that means cooking, like anything, I distract myself with other things that I do. I like to
Yeah.
draw, so I would turn to drawing. I'll start doodling, whatever, just to get away from what I'm having a block on. So I would step away from my studio just to do that. Or I would go on YouTube. I would watch like DiBiase. He's a very famous music producer. I'll watch him do his beat sets live on YouTube. Or Stolen Drums is another one. So like those things, or I would watch tutorials on how to do certain things like in regards to music just to get me inspired. Because the whole point is to take a break and
Yeah.
get inspired still. You don't want to just forget it and give up, you know? You want to
Yeah.
still be productive, but not around it.
I know, right? Now,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for aspiring creatives struggling with self-doubt right now?
Um, hmm. Well, I know it can be hard for someone who's not encouraged to keep going, but I encourage whoever is going through that to keep going and just try, as long as, even if it's like the littlest steps, just take initiative, because any little effort is effort at the end of the day. um you there We're all human. There's gonna be those times where we just don't want to do something, we give up, but just know that, like, if you keep trying, it'll get better, because the more you're at least consistent,
Mm-hmm.
the more it comes back. Like, it's like what like, the more you give, God gives you in 10 times fold. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
You're saying it
Yeah,
right.
you
You're
know what
saying
I'm
it
saying.
right. Yeah. I
Yeah,
got you. Yeah.
it's
The
just a
more you
matter.
give, the more you get in return. Yeah.
Yes, it's just giving effort, trying not for other people, try for yourself,
Yes.
and always, it's always good to write down things too, and how you feel. That's important, actually. You don't want to
Yeah.
keep your thoughts bottled in and you thinking negative all the time. It ain't gonna work out if you keep thinking negative. So you definitely want to find things that inspire you, like affirmations. I like reading affirmations. I have books about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surrounded by my friends. It's good to have friends, your own tribe of
Yes.
friends to help you through, because that's so important. You need encouragement to
Yes.
get back out, and
Yes.
take your time. You don't need to rush in anything. It's all about being patient and on your own time, you know but you
I
can do it,
love that. Yeah.
for sure.
Well, what are your long-term goals as a producer and a photographer?
As a photographer, my goal still is to work permanent as a photojournalist with a company. Um, that is something one of my first passions was photography, and being a house photographer for like big corporations. That was my main goal, still is. And for music, I want to just be able to inspire people who need the inspiration, and in hopes that, like, it can change them in a good way. And I want people to be happy when they listen to my beats. And I also would like to get placements. So that's another goal of mine, to get placements from like artists that I really am inspired by myself.
I love that. Now, what legacy do you hope to leave in the creative space?
I want people to know me for the the cheerful, happy person that I am when I'm around the people that I love. I want people to see me as the girl who did it all, who really went above and beyond for people and knew how to love. Definitely knew how to love and give love and show love.
I love that. I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to drop off of the screen and I'm going to leave you up. And I want you to tell people where they can find you and how they can get in contact with you.
Okay. Well, hi y'all. You can definitely find me on Instagram, all the social media platforms, YouTube, Bandcamp, Twitter, and TikTok. That's if it's still there. At Saywordstaz. So that's Saywordstaz. And yeah, I talk on DMs and stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm there.
Awesome, Anastasia. This is just dynamic. Thank you so much for just agreeing to do this interview and being featured in our magazine. I can't wait to listen to your music and hear more about what you have going on and follow you and follow your journey as well. We're going to call you because we probably going to want to use some of your music for some of our So,
That would be so sick.
yeah. Now, don't forget, I have a podcast too called Dear Black Woman. It's actually a global podcast. So I might call you and say, Anastassia, I need you to make the intro and outro for my podcast. So, yeah.
Hit me up. I'm here.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this and agreeing to do this interview. You guys, I put Anastassia's website where her Bandcamp page across the bottom of the screen where you can contact her. But stay on lookout. Go on TikTok, go on Twitter. Not Twitter. Go on Facebook, Instagram, any of those places, and on YouTube, and follow her. Follow her on YouTube so she can monetize it and get paid for you looking and listening to her music. Okay, she's a creative. You all know that. Look, she's a starving artist. Pump your money into her. Okay. Listen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, you guys. This was so fun. Anastassia Whitty is redefining the intersection of music and photography, from her Staz Bap sound to her evocative photojournalism. She is leaving an indelible mark on the creative world. Be sure to check out her latest projects. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for Sonic Odyssey 3 dropping this spring. Now follow her journey on all platforms under Saywordstaz, and that's SAYWORDSTAZ, and experience the vibe that she brings to every space she touches. So I will see you again because I have more creatives coming for you.